Today we're assembling and filling a Green Stalk 5-tier planter, and this is going to be an herb planter for us here at the Educational Gardens. We have come in where we are filling the 3rd tier. On the bottom tier we have planted basil and parsley, and on this one we're going to be planting thyme. As you can see, he's filling it with potting soil, and we're using an organic, natural potting soil. Each tier of the planter holds an entire bag, and it's a 32-quart bag of soil. It holds just about an entire bag of soil. But he's filling the tier there, the container, with the soil using just an empty coffee can. He's smoothing that out for a couple of reasons. One of them is so that the gray disc can go around the center post there that allows the water to seep out into the soil to water the plants. That's the gray disc that I was speaking of. It's got little holes in it that you align. You can see the little notches there that you line up with the pockets where the plants will be. We took these seedlings that we started from seeds inside on. We started them from seeds on a heat mat, and once they germinated, we moved them off the heat mat onto a grow stand with some grow lights. And you can also see that Kim is giving the little seedlings a boost with some Miracle Grow liquid fertilizer to start with. And you can see that Danny is putting the seedlings in. He sticks his hand in and makes a little divot for them, and then puts the little seedlings down in. And like I said, this tier right here has thyme that he's putting in, and he puts each one in and then just snuggles them in, pats them down in a little bit, and moves on to the next little pocket. And that's what those little sections are called, or pockets. As you can see, each tier holds 6 different plants in the pocket areas. You do not add water to the gray discs at this point. This planter system allows you to put water in the very top, and it sinks down through the post in the middle and allows water to go into each gray disc area, which allows it to seep into the soil. And if you align it correctly with those little notches that you see there at the pocket areas, it allows the water to seep in right there at each plant as it needs it. Again, we're adding a little bit of liquid fertilizer to each of the newly planted seedlings. And in just a second, Danny's going to be adding the next tier, where he's already put some soil into that tier. He'll be adding some more to it, but so that it's not so heavy to pick up, we just add a little bit of soil to it to get it started, and then you pick it up and you align it. The little feet on it clip into the one below it. This one's going to get sage in it. Again, he's filling this up, and I believe this entire planter took about 6 bags of potting mix, so it takes a good bit, but it doesn't take up much space, which is kind of the beauty of this vertical planter. If you don't have a lot of space, this planter allows you to have a lot of plants in a small space, and gravity helps with watering it, so that's kind of nice, and you'll see that at the end. So again, he's just filling this up. It takes, like I said, a good bit of soil, so he's continuing to fill this, and again, he'll smooth it out so that gray disc can fit right on top of it nicely. You want it to be pretty level so that the water drains through it pretty evenly. So you can see that he has filled the container on this tier up to the very top of the container, and he smoothed out the soil. He's pushed the soil all the way up to the edges. You don't want any air pockets in the soil, so he's made a little divot area around the gray discs so that it can sit nicely in there. And you also saw that Kim put a marker labeling that tier with sage just below. No, I'm sorry, that was thyme just below. And each of the tiers has a marker labeling what was planted in each one so that you don't forget. And in this one, he has planted, let's see, that's 1, 2, 3. This is the fourth one. He's putting the sage, that's right. And we've added some of the liquid fertilizer to this one as well. Okay, as you can see on the side there on the floor, Danny is preparing the fifth and final tier of the planter, smoothing out the soil. He's pressing it down to make sure there are no air pockets and making sure that he gets each of the planter pockets full of soil. They're putting in a little bit of triple 13 granular fertilizer in and mixing it into the soil, and actually he put that in each of the tiers there on the planter. We just didn't see him do that, and now he's lifting that up and putting it on top of the fourth tier. The little feet on each tier fit into the little grooves on the tier below it, and of course he's having to add some more soil. This planter, when it's fully assembled, is about 4.5 feet tall, so that's good information for you to have. And as you can see, he's finished filling it, and he's getting ready to put the final seedlings in, and Kim just added the marker for the fourth tier, which we said was sage, and now he's putting oregano seedlings in, and they're really, really small, but he's putting those in exactly the same way. And here's a little bit closer view of how he puts his hand in and makes a space for the little plants to go in. His hand is just the perfect size to make that space for the little seedling to go in. And this whole process is just wash, rinse, and repeat. It's just the same thing over and over again with each tier. Now you can see that he's giving each of the seedlings that he planted a little bit of the liquid fertilizer, just as he did the other tiers. The next thing he's going to do is add the water reservoir on the top. It clips into place exactly the same way that the other tiers did. This is where he's going to pour the water, and you would continue to water it this way. It holds about 2 gallons of water. You put the water in, and it seeps down through the post in the middle and fills each of the gray discs at each tier level. And those gray discs have the holes in them that allow the water to seep into the plants and water those plants at each level. Like I said, it holds about 2 gallons of water. So in a few weeks, our planter will be growing beautifully and will look fantastic. So I hope you'll come back and check us out and see us again, and maybe we'll have pictures of this on our Facebook page. So thanks.